Now, we are approaching the conclusion, but we have two more slots. I'm looking for forgive me, I'm looking for Rui Correia. Is Rui? Yes, yes. Mr. Correia, thank you very much. I'm sorry I didn't get to say hello beforehand. Thank you. Thank you. Now, he's going to spend the princely time of 10 minutes telling us all about something that is very dear to my heart. Every day is a school day. Continuous education, practice makes perfect. Very dear to my heart. Mr. Correia, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, firstly, to ACI Jordan to give us a chance to talk about our education profile. Thank you, ACI Jordan. So I'll just want to tell you a little bit. Let me just see if the slides are working. No, we need the slides. Sorry, can we have the slides up? Aha, we're there. Okay. So I'll tell you a little bit about continuous education and to show you that not only practice makes perfect, it's a little bit more than that. I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't use WhatsApp at work, but this is a frequent topic that we use in events that spread around the world, where we talk about our values, ACI, the network of members, ethical conduct, and education. And these are frequent responses that I get. I'm not getting any extra fee because I'm sponsoring LSEG Messenger there, but it is commonly used in the market. But this is something that it's not really right. And if you remember, or if you know some of these cases that have been happening, not only in the US, about fines on WhatsApp usage, incorrect WhatsApp usage in the work environment, in affecting not only the banks, not only in the US, but also as well the persons that have been used. You see there in the bottom two references to direct impact on persons. I didn't put there, but there are some persons that have been fired, traders, senior managers, that have been fired from their jobs for using WhatsApp and sharing inappropriate information over WhatsApp. And that is the main topic. So I'm not here to say that you cannot use WhatsApp, but there are ways to use WhatsApp. And this is a problem because sharing information not in an appropriate way, and particularly when you're talking about sensitive information, it's not really a good market practice. And if you go and see this, it's really fighting the complacency. Don't do what is easy. Do what is right. And do not assume that what you have always done is the correct thing to do. Complacency, fighting complacency, it's very, very important. We have to assume that we are humans, we make mistakes. But if we can avoid that those mistakes, if we can avoid that those errors are based on complacency, this is something that we should really aim to have on our daily environment, particularly when we're working on financial markets. And this is one of the reasons why I want to tell you about continuous education. I'll go there, but this is one of the reasons why the FX Global Code was launched. This is a very confusing slide, but we can talk about half an hour. I'll probably have another 5 or 6 minutes. Murat is already looking at me. But this is Foreign Exchange Global Code. It was launched in May 17, updated in July 21, and will be updated later this year. It's really the global guidelines of good market practice for the largest financial market in the world, foreign exchange. And ACI, as you can see there on the top, ACI was gladly participated not only in its concept and development and launch, but also actively on its ongoing progress towards ensuring that we have a fair, competitive, transparent and FX market that we can all transact. And one of the points there on the Foreign Exchange Global Code, as you can see, talks about information sharing, where there is a very important principle, Principle 23, that mentions what I just mentioned, what I just referred on the previous slide. You should really only share sensitive information on appropriate methods of communication. WhatsApp is not an appropriate method of communication. So we believe, and given the core values of ACI, we believe that adherence to the foreign exchange global code is very important by all market participants. And this is why we participated in the beginning, and we keep participating, and we keep promoting it. And in order to promote, we actually developed quite a few we actually develop our educational tools in order to promote ongoing and global adherence to the code by all sectors of the industry. I'll tell you a little bit more what's highlighted there about our e-learning portal in a few slides, but you'll have the deck as well, which I asked ACI Jordan, of course, to share, that you might investigate a little bit on what we are referring here. So coming to the point of continuous education, for us it's important. It's particularly because financial markets are evolving on a daily basis. It's really, really important that we keep learning. Life is learning all the time, and that applies to our professional environment, but also to our daily environment. It's very, very important. And if we look at continuous education, it's very important not only for the challenges that we've been having. As you can see, that the growth of life expectancy, there's a lot of challenges over the last few years that have really increased our need, our requirement to keep up to date. Even with technology, it's very, very common to see new tools, new techniques, new methodologies that could aid our job. So it is important that we are continuously updated on what goes on in the market, and for us, continuous education is absolutely paramount. It's even been detailed in the European pillar of social rights. So it's something that is very, very important. But education, continuous education, is important for the employee, yes, not only for us as a professional, but also for us as a person outside the business environment, but it's also important as well for the employer. There's a lot of reasons why continuous education is important for us as individuals, but also for our employees. And if we look into that, well, let's see some examples which are not related to financial markets. I'm sure you know Juliana and Hamad, right? Very brilliant players in Taekwondo. I'm not selecting them because they are Jordanian. It would look nice, but actually my son was a Taekwondo fighter. We say it in Portuguese, actually, we are player. I'm not sure if it's really just a game. But it's really, really, they put a lot of effort in their daily routine. But because I'm Portuguese, I have to bring Mr. Ronaldo as well. He's a Madia, right? So daily routines, daily training, even if they are at the peak of their career, or if they are old. When Ronaldo is 39, he probably is going to play until he's 45 or 57 or something like that. But he keeps exercising on a daily basis, and the same happens, I'm sure, with Juliana and Hamad. For you to do the daily exercises, for you to do continuous education through ELAC, which I'll show you just a couple of slides there, you can actually choose how many minutes you do that. But the idea is that you have that continuous education on good market practices, and particularly when you fight that complacency. Again, that is the fundamental point. Don't assume that what you do on a daily basis is always the correct things. The market is changing. As I mentioned, everything is changing dramatically for financial markets. So it's important that we keep up. And it's important that particularly when we're talking about integrity, Chris mentioned before some of those frauds, some of those some of those scandals in banks. Some of them actually came from bad market practices. We need to apply good market practices in our daily roles, each and every one of us. So ELAC is just really a tool that allows you to have that continuous training and attestation. You can actually select, and every entity can select the flexibility, the training and the attestation requirements that are suitable for your own entity. And if you are a bank, of course, you might have different requirements than if you are a hedge fund, if you are a pension fund, if you are a broker, if you are a central bank, if you are a corporate. ELAC allows you to do that. This is one of the efforts that ACI has done to provide the industry with that support if they want to have continuous education for their staff. I'm glad to say that, for instance, we have quite a lot in ELAC. We actually have not only the effects of a code, we actually integrated quite a lot of content into ELAC because, again, The core values of ACI, the network of members promoting ethical conduct, or if you want to say it in a more enlarged way, good market practices through education. This is what we do. This is the backbone of our association that was launched in 1955, which is, and then gladly and very happily for us, spread over by all the 60 national associations that we have around the world. If we look, for instance, at the development of our tools in terms of promoting ethical conduct via education, it's currently accessed in 78 countries. I'm sure you see Jordan and other Middle East countries in there, so we're very, very happy, but a lot has to be done. We have to ensure that we have all the fairness and integrity and transparency over this market or money markets or global precious markets. We need to ensure that we cover the whole world, because that's the only way that we can improve our practices, and the market will get much better than that. So just a few benefits that you can see from having that continuous education. If you want to know more on that, feel free to drop by the stand to talk to Kim and myself. And coming back to what I mentioned on the slide, and I see Murad coming, but I have 30 seconds. I mentioned to you, continuous education, practice makes perfect. No, perfect practice makes perfect. That's the key point. We need to be perfect at what we do. Otherwise, we will not have a market like we used to do, where we all believed in the trust, in the gentleman's market, in the integrity of the market. We need to get back to where we were and avoid those scandals that we all had. So feel free to talk to us. Thank you very much for your time.
No, thank you, Rui. No. Before you go, I absolutely loved that. Boy, there's a gentleman who's after my own heart. Every single word. I love that 103,000%. If we all did all of that, the markets would be in a lot better shape without anyone else doing any extra work, because that's easy to do. It's not technically complex. Time is of the essence. We've got one more slot. He's going to get the princely time of 5 minutes. But Mr. Correia, I really love that. Thank you very much. Let's have another round of applause, please. Thank you. That's very nice.